Welcome to Goat vs. Fish. You are live on the living streams of Goat vs. Fish. This is your president speaking.
Hello, President Goat vs. Fish. This is Dr. Joss.
Welcome, Dr. Joss, straight out of the congregation and now live speaking to Goat vs. Fish. This is not the first conversation that Dr. Joss has had with Goat vs. Fish.
Celebration for Goat. Celebration for Goat.
Celebration for Goat! Celebration for Goat! You are staunch in your declaration of Goat. Tell us, Goat, are you feeling a partisan, patriotic feeling in your Goat heart this celebration of Verse America?
This is a strange versus America. I'm not really of America, as you know, Goat versus Fish. I'm from the United Kingdom, and I feel very strange about what's happening, despite living in the United States, about the current verses.
The current verses. Yes, a lot is happening in the current verses. You are, of course, speaking about Verse America's rebellion against the fish and chips to declare their own independence, yes?
Yes. The current verses of your colonialism verses.
Yes, of course. It's just that in the beginning there was Goat versus Fish. Time is but a fence to Goat versus Fish. So when you speak of the current situation of Verse America, you could be talking about anything from the Verse American independence from across the pond fish and chips all the way up until the big orange fence builder that wants to build the fence, build the fence. You have to get specific with Goat versus Fish.
Brexit was very strange for me, and it continues to be very strange, and that America has almost taken a page of verses from the British verses of European Union. It's a strange verses to live in.
It is a strange versus. What's also strange is that for the first time in the history of Goat vs. Fish call-in shows, Goat vs. Fish is getting a call while Goat vs. Fish is already on a call. But guess what? You called Goat vs. Fish first, and you get priority from Goat vs. Fish.
That is good versus that you have decided to not take the incoming call versus of someone calling in live to you, and you're giving me airtime. I appreciate that, Goat versus Fish.
Always appreciate Goat versus Fish. So, from the perspective of a goat who is not from Verse America, but is living here by way of visitation, how do you feel that your perspective as goat differs from the native goat and fish Americans who have been here and lived here their whole verses?
Well, one of the things that I've always struggled with when tackling the verses in America is that I'm also of the star sign Capricorn, and therefore I would be technically a goatfish. And the fence sitting is almost like a part of my psyche, but I can't get away from the fact that I am a goat.
Celebration for Goat. Celebration for Goat. It is strange to Goat versus Fish. Strange has been a key versus this conversation. That you would say that your perspective here in Verse America is one of the Capricorn, which is that old verses of the stars declaring what you are. When there are so many here, when there are so many here, when there are so many here that say, oh, Verse America isn't about the stars declaring what you are, unless, of course, you're talking about the false verses of Stars versus Stripes, then they're all about the stars. But if you're speaking about the one that they call Jesus Christ, they may say that's what Verse America is really about. It's not about the stars. What do you say to that? What do you say to that? Help make sense of it to Goat versus Fish.
Jesus Christ. No, I would rather not get into religion with you, Goat versus Fish.
Well, it was you who started talking about the stars declaring what you are. You brought it up to Goat versus Fish. You said it to Goat versus Fish. You said it to Goat versus Fish.
No, I would rather be, if I was to refer to being a Capricorn, I would rather remain a fence sitter. But personally, I would choose goat over fish. But religiously, I have no fucking opinion.
Celebration for goat, celebration for the opinionless goat. As Goat vs. Fish campaigns across Verse America to promote the policy positions of Goat vs. Fish, and we attempt to learn the ways to communication with all of the goat and with all of the fish. Yes, we are finding that religion is something that the goat and fish are very concerned with. We were hoping that you could give us some elucidation. But here you have spoken of the imperialism happening in Verse America. Tell us about that. Are the goat cracking down on fish? Do you feel that or are you witnessing your fellow goat cracking down on fish, or is it the fish that are going after the goat? What's your perspective
we're
here?
heading into the Independence Day celebration, and I am of the United Kingdom, and you are of the American persuasion and therefore colonialism, and I feel like maybe colonialists are the enemy of goat.
Ah, colonialists are the enemy of goat, which is to say that it is the fish. The colonialists are the fish.
Indeed.
So, what has happened to your land, goat? Has your land been taken away by the fish?
I mean, hopefully the seas will rise and take us all soon enough.
Well, that is a whole other verses. You see, the political verses, it is really a broad sweeping part of the congregation of Goat versus Fish. Some say the sea level is rising. Some deny that the sea level is rising. Some say that it's caused by natural verses. Others say it is a conspiracy by big fish to try to consume the land of the goat so that they can have more real estate for themselves under the sea.
I would agree with that, and I find it troubling, even though I am goat, that they have passed the big, beautiful goat.
Oh, the big, beautiful goat. The big, beautiful goat. The big, beautiful goat. So you are a goat, and yet that bill is also goat.
I mean, is it a bill that I want to ascribe to myself? No, but at the same time, it feels like the people that campaigned for that big, beautiful bill wanted it to be the goat.
They wanted it to be the goat. But some are saying that all of those fencestaticians out there, that when they say goat, they really mean fish. And when they say fish, they really mean goat. And that you can always count on them, that when they say it's a big, beautiful goat, that really it's probably going to be a small, ugly fish.
I feel like the big, beautiful goat in this case had a lot of fence sitters that were coerced into voting fish.
Fence sitters coerced into voting fish.
Mm-hmm.
Could you be coerced? Could you be coerced into choosing fish? What's
never
your price? What's your price?
Fish. I would never be coerced into voting fish.
Never be coerced. Have you considered running for Goat versus Fish?
Well, I would say that the Goat versus Fish party might be broken.
Oh, the Goat versus Fish party might be broken. Goat versus Fish is broken. Oh no! What is your evidence?
After this conversation, I think I want to go back to remaining on the fence.
After this conversation, you think you want, are you goat or are you fish?
Oh, I want to be goat, but it seems like the goats never win.
It seems like the goats never win. Well, do not despair, goat. Do not despair. Are you looking at your screen?
Yeah.
Goat versus Fish. Here in Verse America, we've started keeping track of our big wins. Goat is currently on a winning streak of 2 verses. It went back and forth between Goat and Fish. There was one mighty versus in which neither Goat and Fish did triumph. But Goat is currently on a streak of 2. We're winning. We're winning bigly. Goat is always winning. It's an always winning goat. You can't stop the goat from triumphing over the fish. Are you tired of winning? Are you tired of winning, Dr. Joss?
I really wish that were true. Even if we win in the polls, Goat is not winning.
Goat is not winning. Well, sounds like you're despairing. Are you despairing for Verse America? Is that what I hear? Is that what I hear on Goat
Every
versus
day for Verse America, I am despairing.
Goat versus Fish understands. Sometimes it feels less like Verse America and more like Fence America. But that is why Goat versus Fish is here to take your call, which will have absolutely no impact. Which means it's exactly like if you were to call someone who represented you. Goat versus Fish is doing politics.
This is the miracle I was asking for. Thank you.
Always thank Goat versus Fish. The miracle of Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. Final verses. What do you say to your fellow goat?
Fish. I say celebration for all goat and fish. Celebration.
What do you say to the fence sitter?
I say pick a fucking side already. God damn it. It's not that fucking hard.
We thank you for your call to Goat versus Fish. After this call to Goat versus Fish, you will be directed towards a 5-hour survey to gauge your satisfaction with this call with Goat versus Fish.
Ah, shit. It's just like Spectrum. Cool. All right.
Celebration, Dr. Joss. Celebration for Goat. That was Dr. Joss calling Goat versus Fish. And it's another call for Goat versus Fish. It's another call for Goat versus Fish. Welcome to Goat versus Fish. You are live on the Interwebiverse live streams with Goat versus Fish. Who, may I ask, is versing? This is your president. Goat versus fish. 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 You sing so well. Celebration! It was a song of goat versus fish. It was a song of goat versus fish. Sing together with goat versus fish. Singing together with goat versus fish, but we don't know if that caller was goat or if the caller was fish. We don't know if the caller was goat or fish. But we do know that Dr. Joss is goat. Thank you, caller. Thank you for calling and singing with goat versus fish. Much appreciation. Oh, my verses. It seems they're calling back.